still crawls, flag still flies, mama still cooks, and God won't die. Dogs still hunt, men man up, a little bit of red juice runs in your blood. Yes sir, yes ma'am, handshake deal, right still rule, even in real. Three chords and the truth, they never gone nowhere. And I said old school still in out here. I said old school still in out here.
Alright, first off, this is just how I set my 5.0 up when I go duck hunting in the winter. I've been using my camera like this around the lens, but next year, or this year, I'm going to start doing 2 mounts like I did here in dove season. I tried that for dove season, and that seemed to help a little bit on the stability, but the main thing is just shouldering it properly. Alright, so you turn your Tactacam on Wi-Fi mode and go to your phone, your settings, and connect to it. Then go to your Tactacam Wi-Fi app, like I've done here. Once you get into your phone, I'm going to set my blue and green settings up. I like to use blue for my dark settings, dark blue, dark light, and I like to use 4K at 30 frames a second for dark light, and that's what I've got set here. I'm all the way zoomed in, 4K at 30, image stabilization on. I like to turn the vibration on just because I do like feeling that on my gun, let me know that it's come on. And this year I'm going to try to do an EV1 just because we hunt in the timber a lot and it's dark a lot, so I'm going to see if that lightens it up a little bit. Might help just a little bit. Maybe I don't use it very long, but I'll try it. My green setting is going to be when the sun is up and I can see good. So again, zoomed all the way in. I'm going to use full HD 120 frames a second, and I'll show you why in a second, why I like 120 frames a second. You can't do image stabilization on 120 frames a second. Go ahead and turn vibration on because I do want it to vibrate. Still got EV1 on, so I'm going to go with that for now, and we'll see how that plays out. I do like the timestamp on mine when you're going through video. So I like to use 4K at 30 frames a second early, and that's what you're watching here. That's for gray light, or a little after gray light. 4K at 30 frames a second, looks really good. It's light enough, but when you slow it down like you see in this video, it's kind of jerky and jumpy. It looks okay, but it's not smooth. But 4K at 30 frames a second gives you more light. It lets you gather more light. So when it's gray out and it's just a little past shooting light, 4K at 30 is going to be your best bet. I've done 4K at 15 last year, but it's so jerky and jumpy, and it's still really dark that it's not much usable anyway. Here's another 4K at 30, looks great in full speed, but when you slow it down, it's got a lot of jerk and jump to it, so you can't get those cool slow motion shots, but you still get good footage from what would be, if you used 120 frames a second, it'd be too dark to really see much. So 4K at 30 is my dark setting, and then when the sun comes up, I'm going to switch to full HD at 120. So here's a full HD at 120 full speed, and you can tell it's fast. The duck's coming in fast, it's jerky, but when you have 120 frames a second, you can slow it down so much that you can see it. You can actually slow-mo it down, and you can see the wings beating. You can actually make out the bird. It's not just a jerky video. So I like 120 frames a second when the sun is up. You still get great fast motion for regular speed, but when you slow it down, you can really see like the wad and the pellets and the feathers and all that stuff. And that's what I'm looking. That's my goal, is to get those cool slow motion videos. Here's another one. The bird comes in fast. That's regular speed. It's just kind of jerky, hard to watch. But then when you slow it down with the 120 frames a second, you can actually see this mallard cupping up and cupping his wings and flapping his wings and all that before he gets shot, and then you get to see him roll down and splash into the water. If that was in 4K at 30, you could slow it down, but it wouldn't be as smooth. And also, be realistic about that gray light, that first light. You're not going to be able to see much. It's going to be blurred. There's just not enough light. Even expensive cameras, they can't get enough light at first light to shoot much. So be realistic about what to expect there.
Click subscribe for more waterfowl content. Follow us this year.
Attaboy. Hurry back.